Hi, this is Justin Kantor of soulmusic.com. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with the very soulful and multifaceted Jay Williams, a singer and songwriter who first came to our attention with house classics like Sweat, which is an anti-apartheid anthem, as well as One Step at a Time and a remake of Blue Magic's classic Look Me Up. Well, now he's back, and he's working on a brand new album called Soul in Motion, which is preceded by a fantastic soulful house single entitled Could This Be Love, which he's produced by himself. So, welcome to soulmusic.com, Jay Williams. Around the time that you came out with Sweat and records that followed shortly after that, there were also some other soulful dance artists like Jamanda that the labels were willing to invest in, but then, like you said, it became more about maybe the radio-friendly techno aspect of it, I guess. I don't know if that would be the
Exactly,
way to describe
exactly.
it. Yeah.
That's one way to describe it. I think, um,
Because I just remember, like, with Frankie Knuckles having even some crossover mainstream success as an example for a while with his productions, but then it seemed that it kind of veered away from the soulful dance records having a chance, and it was more limited to maybe, I don't know, the European pop dance sounding records. That.
that's one part of it. Another
Mm-hmm.
part is that the generation
Mm-hmm.
started to change. You have a whole new generation of listeners, and 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 they began to influence what the labels were giving.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, I always say that the music started to dumb down a bit. You
Yeah.
know, when you talk about those soulful records and some of the songs that Frankie Knuckles, who I absolutely love,
Mm-hmm.
produced or remixed, they were all attached to a vocalist. And
Mm-hmm.
suddenly, the vocalist, little by little, started to get pushed out of the picture because the new generation of club kids, I would say that they all have, well, the majority of them have attention deficit disorder because they can't wait for the bridge. They can't wait for those two verses to be over. So
Uh-huh.
all they go to the clubs for are for the bells and whistles. And what you found was a lot of producers being pushed by the dance music labels to just give that section. Let's
Interesting.
loop that section so the second they get into the club, it's automatically peak hour.
Huh. So tell me about what you're doing with your new album that you're in the works of creating. Who are you collaborating with, and who do you hope to reach with this album?
Well, right now I'm actually writing and producing the album myself. It's almost finished. I have a few collaborations with some of my friends in the business, such as Thomas Foyer. He's the one who helped me with the club classic mix of "Could This Be Love,"
Okay, very nice
um,
one.
right? And DJ Mimi in Europe is another friend of mine, and we're about to work on something together. And I think this time around, I'm going to really try to focus on doing most of the writing because I've spent so many years having to compromise my creativity, and I think that's exactly why I had to take a hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take a hiatus to separate myself from from being a part of a certain circle, a certain sound, because once you saturate yourself with something that is not exactly representative of you, it's very, very difficult to then pull back and say, okay, wait a minute, that wasn't me. I'm really this
Yeah.
soulful guy, who grew up in the 70s with, Teddy Pendergrass and Eddie Kendricks. You can't do that.
Right.
So I just decided to just sit back and just watch and observe, and I'm so glad that I did that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
also glad that I have other talents, so I was able to work and do other things in the meantime while I just developed myself and started this company, JW2 Entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Well, So tell me, what is the typical day like running your own label and promoting your own product?
It's insane.
Uh-huh.
It's insane, but it's rewarding at the same time. Um, I start early in the morning, and first I try to get everything out of the way that I have to do for myself, go to
Hmm.
the gym, etc. Those things I have to do for me. Then by 11 a.m. till maybe 1 a.m., everything is for the business.
Wow.
I have to get on the phones. I'm speaking to different countries, and you have to remember the time zone is different, so it
Yeah.
gets a little bit confusing.
Hmm.
I'm speaking to some of the distributors who are helping me distribute my music. Sometimes, well, every day I have to drive to the city to for meetings, etc. And then I'm speaking with those who are doing my graphics, my CD cover. I'm pretty much just one person under one umbrella. I do have resources that I could tap into in terms of people who are helping me do things,
Hmm.
but the majority of decisions are really mine, and that's the hard part about being independent. But
Hmm.
like I said, it's really, really rewarding, and I keep asking myself, why didn't I do this all the time?
Well, it's always easy to look back and, hindsight is 2020, I guess, but the important thing is you're doing it now. So you also, from what I understand, you studied music as well as journalism in college. Um,
Right.
how did, well, given that, were your plans always to go and be an artist? And also, how did those fields of study prepare you for your career as an artist?
Um, well, when I attended Baruch College, I was studying music and journalism, and then I switched that and I went into law. So I always felt as though music was always first, but I needed something, not necessarily to fall back on, but I
Hmm.
needed something that I could utilize to help me move forward and invest in my music.
Right.
Um, and I've always loved to write. I still write. That's where the journalism came in. I still write to this day. And combining the music and the study of music and journalism, I think it really, really helped me out in this business. Not only how to play instruments, but it helped me to learn the actual structure of a song,
Hmm.
how to write, how to arrange. Um, it helped a great deal when I started to sing background vocals for many singers. That's actually my first job in the music business. I was doing background vocals,
Hmm.
and I was able to. People were able to pull me into the studio, and immediately I would know my part, or I would just give everyone else their notes.
Okay.
So
Cool.
the study of music was really important. At the same time, I think it was actual hands-on experience, the experience of performing, that really shaped me and shaped my style and my voice. If I continued with studying music, I think I might have been stripped from some of that.
You have to just dive in there at some point, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, so after you completed your studies, did you? How did it come about that you ended up being signed with Big Beat Records? Was it a result of writing Sweat, or vice versa, or how did that all come into fruition at the beginning of your professional music career?
Well, I think it was a result of uh, when I left home. I left home at age 19.
Hmm.
I was living on my own. I also went to college at the same time.
Hmm.
But when you're living on your own and you're young, you're going to party every night. So I was a party holic. I was in the clubs. I was everywhere. And part of being a club head,
Hmm.
I met so many different people in dance music, and I also used to go watch some of the artists perform.